It's time for another episode of Your Business is on the Line. Have we figured out all of our audio issues yet? No. Join me, Shubh Sidhu, with co-host Phillippe Burns for episode 3 of Your Business is on the Line, brought to you by Indian Dad Media and...
This is a Thursday media production.
Pause? I like how I say pause, so then you guys know I'm pausing, right? Pause. Welcome to episode 3 of Your Business is on the Line. I'm joined once again by guest co-host, Phillippe Burns, as well as producer Chaz. For
What
you
up?
guys, this feels forced and unoriginal because we are re-recording an introduction to this episode because we don't know what we're doing. So
Because the
we have
audio was
two
so bad.
options. Yes, that's correct. We have two options here. We can try to letter perfect recreate what we did, like read a script basically, or we can try to do it over again. I think it'd be kind of hilarious if we try to read the script from last time, but I think it's probably better if we don't.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you prompt me, I feel like I could probably do it word for word.
My problem is I'm so original all the time in my thoughts. No,
Right,
that's not
right.
true.
Yeah.
Um, Chaz is online today too, so Chaz, you're gonna make sure that doesn't happen again, yes?
10-4.
Yeah, it's only
Yeah,
happened
Shaz,
four
where were you
times
last
already.
time?
Where the f were you?
Shaz,
Why have you
I'm
let me
pretty
do
sure,
this to myself?
didn't you hire Chaz after episode 2? What the?
Hire is a strong word because none of us are paying each other, right? Like so like I mean hire is it's like it's more of a volunteer gig, I think, at this point. Okay,
All right,
so
that's fair. That's fair.
Philip, I'm gonna switch back to podcast voice. Today we have one of your guests coming on,
Yeah.
Dan Chapman. At the time we recorded this, I had never met Dan before. I've now subsequently met him several times, had lunch with him this week, but let's just pretend I don't know him or anything about him.
Right.
Maybe talk about Dan, talk about what he does, and talk about how you got to know Dan just a tiny bit. Although, and don't
Wow.
give anything away from the pitch.
I'm jealous of the lunch.
Oh yeah,
I
you were busy, I think.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I'm sure I wasn't, but yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, Dan, I met Dan with this really funny, I'm sure you've come to know Dan now over the last few times that you've met him. Dan is like like incredible guy. He's both very smart, and talented. But I met him like only 3 months ago, maybe. And so we were hosting a Tech Thursday with the former mayor and a few other folks. And we sort of like finished Tech Thursday, everyone was networking, and he just did this drive-by compliment where he was like, "Hey, great event," and then just like walked out. And I was like, I stopped him before he left. I was like, "What was that? Like, you're just gonna give me a drive-by compliment and leave?" He's like, "Yep, sorry, man, gotta go." And then the next day, he like sent me a note, a really like ominous note on LinkedIn that was like, "Hey, here's my phone number, call me."
Come to this event or else.
And so I called him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm hosting this conference. You should come." And first of all, I kind of hate conferences, and it was like a Friday and Saturday. I was like, "I don't know you. I'm not gonna give you a Friday and a Saturday."
You started an events company, right? Like for a guy who hates on
Yeah,
conferences.
and
That's
we
pretty
don't
funny.
do conferences.
That's right. Okay, fair enough.
Um,
Continue.
and so then I was like, "Okay, like I got to figure out if I should go to this." Like I was pretty sure I wasn't gonna go, but I texted two of my friends. One was Mark Ledane, and the other one was my friend Tom. I was like, "Do you know this guy?" Um, And they were both like, "Yeah, he's awesome, and that conference is super legit." So I went, and it was like this invite-only conference of 65 people, and it was like founders from San Francisco and energy executives from Calgary, just like having this super casual conversation. And so it's now my belief that Augur VC, which is the VC that Dan runs, is quite possibly the most legit and interesting
Don't
venture capital
don't say
firm
anything
operating.
negative about any other venture capital firms in case we want to have them on.
Well, I just think they got a long way to go if they want to be held in the same regard
If they
that I
they know
hold
Dan, well,
Augury.
especially once you hear Dan's pitch, right? Hey, Chaz, does that strike you as Phil's story was a really long-winded way of telling us that he gets invited to highly exclusive events that none of the rest of us do?
It did feel slightly like a humble brag, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just I'm gonna talk about how I met Dan at this invite only. There was only 65 people there. Shub, Chaz, I would have asked you, but 67, then there's no chance that, right, it would have been above capacity. Okay, I'm looking forward to Dan coming in. I'm looking
That
forward
was
to
not the intention of the story, but
That's fair.
yeah,
I'm looking
I'm
forward to
so, yeah.
meeting Dan as well. You can't see me
Nice
on the audio
wink, yeah.
winking at you. Yeah, yeah. Okay, we've had a couple episodes out, some things that we've learned so far. We did a launch event at
Yeah.
Philip, your holiday party, which was very kind of you to invite me up to do that. We got some feedback on the music that we're using. I realized I didn't explain the music previously fully. This was a submission to Hockey Night in Canada, but I never mentioned that we didn't win. So our theme was not picked as the Hockey Night in Canada theme. There might have been some people out there assuming, Shub, hey, you must have won because the music is so good. How can you also use it for the podcast? I just wanted to clear that up. We did not
When
win.
did we talk about it? Was that in this recording that in
I
the
don't know.
episode
I'm
3?
so confused about timing. I feel like one of those Star Trek The Next Generation episodes where they're like
Yeah.
jumping through time and I've lost track. I've
Yeah,
lost
yeah.
track of
We're like
which
we're creating lore that and like backstories, but then our
yeah.
audio is so bad and we re-record it that the backstories are lost. And so
Yeah.
we'll have to like if we've messed it up so badly that no one understands this Hockey Night in Canada thing, episode like 7 at this point, we'll
Yeah,
cover
yeah,
it
we'll
and
do
we'll
we'll
get
do
there.
this. We'll come all the way back, and then we'll rebuild like a when my kids just started watching the Marvel movies for the first time, so I had to
Right.
decide on what order they had to watch them in, like timeline order or release order. So we'll have to come
Yeah.
back and do like a timeline. We'll re-release all the pods in a timeline order.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Yeah, episode 7 is episode 2. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. I like that.
Um,
Which
also,
order did you choose for your kids?
oh no, we don't have time for that today. This is
Okay.
let's park that story for another time. Um,
No, it
we
won't be.
also
I really hope we don't bring that back another
It's
time.
just nerd. I'm gonna do a 2-hour episode on what order I watched the Marvel movies in. Phil, when you go on vacation, I'm gonna be like, Chaz, I'm recording a pod today. The pitch is watch the Marvel movies. Um,
Yeah.
we released the second, and Philip, I don't know if you know anyone that listened to it, but I had a couple people reach out and be like, hey, the Thursday media jingle is just you and a mouth trumpet and Phil using a deep voice. You guys know that, right?
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah,
is that supposed to sound professional? And I was like, it's supposed to sound exactly how we want it to sound. Like,
that's right.
why,
And we
you
could
know?
reproduce it whenever we want,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
And so the audio for that sounded great.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So yeah,
that's a little
I
preview of
love
how
the jingle.
yeah, I think we're in good shape here. So we are now 2 episodes out in the world. This will be the third episode out in the world. I have some notes here from the last time we did this and recorded it with bad audio. We're on record saying if we end up with 10 listeners, it's an incredible outcome. And I can tell you, we have beaten that target for the first 2 episodes. So
Yeah, that's right. When we first recorded this
yeah, we were like, oh,
intro,
if we got to 10 for one episode, we'd be great. We've I'm not even gonna I can't tell you how many because I don't want that. But
yeah,
many times 10. Let me just put it that way.
yeah, that's amazing. That's such a good, that's such a big win. Congrats, Shep.
Hey, it's team effort. I do also want to point out that if we average the number of hours I've spent working on audio cleanup per listener, it's like a 1-to-1 ratio. So we're hoping that as we get better at recording audio, we'll improve
Yeah.
that. So what was I going to talk about now, Philip? We'll cut this
Oh
part
no,
out.
white space, dude.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
maybe
wait.
let's talk about the Marvel then. If you
No,
have
no,
no
hold
idea what
on.
to talk about.
Let's take it back to. So anyway, in Iron Man 2, the one thing we did talk about was nicknames in the previous episode, and then you crushed Pip's lips, which great, fabulous naming. Not sure about the product. Chaz has some
Well,
questions, and if Chaz has questions, honestly, it's not a great sign. Like he buys in on everything. The barbecue cover was the thing we pitched last time. It's very cold and snowy this week in Calgary. This is a true story. Last week, the first snowfall, I had forgotten to cover my barbecue. I was very upset. The barbecue is now on its last legs. I've heard some positive feedback. We have not yet had a designer volunteer to
Right.
build the barbecue cover for us, but I think we just need to work on getting this podcast in front of more people. I do want to loop back to the nickname conversation because I said I didn't have a nickname. Now, that was for most of my life. One thing that has happened recently in my life, I've coached a lot
Whoa.
of soccer. And
Yes.
as a result, the kids call me coach, but like a lot of the parents in the neighborhood. So I'll be walking through the gym in the neighborhood or walking down the street. Somebody will be like, "Hey, coach, how's it going?" So I would like,
Coach is so good.
if we're buying in on a nickname for Shub, maybe
Coach.
coach. Yeah,
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 that'd be
yeah.
awesome. That explains the
So
Adidas tracksuit you got on right now.
yeah, I've taken a. You
It's
guys have
so
done a.
coach.
Do you think Chaz, can we get an Adidas sponsorship if I continue to wear this?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, come on. I'm pretty sure Adidas is an acronym for All Day I Dream About Shub.
Why don't we just call them up and be like, hey, listen, we got more than 10 listeners. How many? It's more than 10.
It's more than 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is now officially the top business comedy podcast in Canada.
Number one business comedy podcast in Canada.
Yeah, take
Hands
that.
down.
Take that, podcast that doesn't exist.
Yeah. Just again, I don't know how real we want to get with our audience. There is no business comedy category on any of the major podcast platforms. So, category defining though,
You're breaking the fourth wall right now.
am I breaking? Oh, so I shouldn't have
Let
said
them
that.
believe. Let them believe that this category exists.
Should we just operate with more confidence? The number one business comedy podcast in
Yeah.
Canada.
Whoa.
I want to do one quick shout out because the new logo dropped, the actual logo. Shout out to Megan for making a real logo that looks really good. Chad said it's going to look great on mugs. So mugs might be, everybody might be getting a mug Christmas 2026 from me.
Or it would look great on a Cover Me barbecue.
Can you do your Australian accent for us one more time?
Cover Me barbecue. We just brand all of the things. That's actually how we get paid, is that people will make our stuff but have to brand it.
So we'll get paid for the branding because we invented the idea.
Well, no, so many people will listen to our podcast because someone invented
Yeah.
the Cover Me barbecue and put our branding on the front of it.
Oh, I see. Okay, so we'll like you know the as seen on TV store where the Snuggie, you'd order the Snuggie and it would say as seen on TV in the corner. So you're saying it'd be
Exactly.
like a little your business. Oh yeah. Actually, this is a really good idea. Is this what we should do?
I think so. Yeah, that's
Just
how,
take 10
that's how we
points
hack
off the
growth.
top.
Yeah.
Yeah, be like, "Hey, you can go and build this barbecue cover. You can go and launching Pip Slips would be weird because that your name is on that.
I think it'd be
Florts, the barbecue cover, salsa score.
Yeah.
This would be amazing.
This,
I
don't
do
wanna
also have a
attribute this to anyone,
yeah.
but there's a great quote that I love from one of the startups that I used to work at. And it was, we would like always hate to pay for marketing. And the quote is, marketing is like sex. Only losers pay for it. This feels like a great way for us to
Yeah.
like hack.
I
growth.
don't know that I'm gonna leave that in. I'll be honest. Chaz, can
Yeah,
I get
that's fair.
can I get an opinion on whether we should leave that in or not?
We're definitely gonna have to bleep sex, but that might just make it worse.
That
Is
might
that
be
crude?
the best thing that's been said. I just don't know if we can put it in the. I think we better. I think now that we've talked about it, we got to put it out there. I'm going to try to get us back on track here after that. So we're very excited. Dan is coming in. He's going to join us right after this. He has more than one idea to pitch us, he's told us. And I'm looking forward to it. And pause.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Your Business is on the Line. Today we have a very special guest, our first on-camera guest ever, Pip. This is very exciting.
Yeah, super exciting. Dan has become over the last like 2 months a dear friend of mine.
That is an incredible story. I like that Pip can create connections so quickly.
I also love that you guys set the bar so high on the first like in camera
Yeah.
guest.
Yeah, I like that you're being very kind because you're not talking about the 20 minutes we just spent making you sit in a chair while we tried to get that work.
In again, still the hottest room.
I don't want to go to the bakery to get the bread. I want to go to the bakery to have the experience of the bread baking and being formed by loving hands.
Yeah. Well, you hear another voice. Dan, you and I met 20 minutes ago and haven't spoken because I was trying to get your camera working.
Correct.
This is very exciting for me. Would you do us all a favor and maybe introduce yourself a little bit and talk about who you are and what you do?
I would love to. Thanks so much. And thanks for having me, guys. This is a real pleasure and an honor. I woke up this morning with a spring in my step, knowing that I get to meet somebody new and chit chat to the masses. So that's fantastic.
And that was someone else, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I did. This is my third podcast of the day.
Yeah.
So I'm Dan Chapman. I am the co-founder and president of Augur VC, which is a venture capital firm that invests at the intersection of energy, AI, and cloud infrastructure. We're based between Calgary and San Francisco, have been in this business, oddly enough, before there was a name for it. If you typed energy AI into the internet in late 22, early 2023, all that came up was little old Augur. And now we've got operations out of 2 cities and 16 portfolio companies, and it's been a really exciting space. And I'm sure what now was a really nascent scene in a nascent space is exploding. You see, NVIDIA just announced earnings last week, and their projected earnings for Q3 2026, oddly enough, is more than the enterprise value of all but 15 companies in Canada. So we're at a really interesting intersection here. Besides that, and I know maybe you're going to ask where I'm from, so I'm not going to go spoil it, but I really want to meet you. Yeah, exactly. So that's a little bit about me. Call Calgary home, and just I'm really excited to be part of this, and I love what you guys do. I have listened to the podcast before, and I'm a big fan of Tech Thursday.
You haven't?
Yes, I have.
How would you have? Did you share a link with it? Did I share a link with you? Or because we haven't really sent you before.
You've interviewed.
Liar.
Oh, sorry. No. It was you. It was Phil on a podcast.
Let's
and I just assumed it was this.
lean into that and just go, wow, what a kind sentiment.
It's so great. Yeah, I'm so glad.
I will say before we go any further, that 3 minutes that Dan talked about energy AI and the venture scene, and that was actually the first informative piece of information in 3 episodes. But, like the actual, like real, that was real information.
Yeah, sorry, Dan. The only reason we knew you're lying is because there are no listeners to this podcast. We know.
We're doing this thing where we load up a few, and then we're gonna, the market's gonna be like, oh my god, these guys, unbelievable.
Yeah,
but Dan, it's in the future. But this time you will have listened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're a podcasting pro because you understand the time between now and then.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. You turned. Pip is not a pro. It kind of wrecked it for him.
Yeah, I wrecked it for everyone. What do you think of this setup? How we're like on low chairs and on the other side of the room of you?
It's a very awkward first date. There's a lot of space in between us.
Yeah.
It's very warm. My hands were cold from being outside, so it's quite nice.
Dan, how founders feel when they're pitching you guys, right? Like,
oh yeah,
it's just very warm and awkward.
We don't need a hot seat. What we need is a hot room to stick them in for a while.
So Dan, I have a totally unprompted question. Where are you from?
Oh, it's very kind of you to ask.
Yeah.
I grew up just outside of the thriving metropolis of Craven, Saskatchewan. And, when you travel places and you go and people say, oh, where are you from? And they're like, they don't know. I'm like, oh, is that a big spot? Oh, no, it's only like 200 people. I'm like, oh, yeah, small city, 200,000. No, like 200.
Okay, so I think Philip has given you maybe a bit of context. It sounds like not very much, but you've listened to the podcast before, so you know this already. But it's worth, I think, just resetting the stage.
Deep a bit.
Okay, so the concept is it's called Your Business is on the Line, which you know. And we just thought it would be great for people to come in and pitch ideas, pitch a business problem they're having. Those ideas, we people keep asking us, are they going to be real pitches or ideas? And thus far, I would say maybe, but probably not. So I pitched one of my great ideas, actually two great ideas, and we don't need to continue to dissect these, but I'll just give you the highlights. One is florts, which are shorts that go under your swim trunks that you can pump up like a Reebok pump. He's laughing. The second,
Oh, that's incredible. That is
automated
incredible.
barbecue cover. So like, when you come inside, could you hit a button to cover your barbecue instead of going back outside? That was the other pitch.
It's beautiful.
Philip pitched his first idea last time.
Pip's lips.
Yeah, lip care for men.
Lip care for men. For those without lips, Pip's lips.
Yeah, turn
Dan, you can use some of that.
light up your lips.
Light up your lips.
So those are some of the ideas that we've workshopped. We've had a couple of guests on that have pitched some incredible ideas. So with that context, Dan, do you have an idea you would like to pitch to us today?
I certainly have an idea I would like to pitch to you. I might even have 2 ideas.
Oh shit! Amazing.
You might see the first double guest plus video in the history of your business.
A real big idea and a really big idea.
Okay.
Just for the audience out there, this is how you pitch a venture capitalist, right? To like, even your little idea is a gigantic idea. This reminds me with the barbecue cover where we said there will only be large, extra large, and extra extra large. There would be no small or medium, right?
Like, we like to talk about serviceable, addressable market. We like to talk about obtainable markets. Let's talk pure total obtainable markets here, the big old TAM. $1 trillion ideas around the table here today.
Okay.
Only trillion.
Only trillion. Trillions or bust.
Well, that's what we'll call Dan's podcast.
Yeah.
Only trillions.
Only the trillions.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. What do you want to start with? I would personally just suggestion. Start with your biggest idea and then your extremely biggest idea.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So we'll start with the really big idea then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've all been to parties, right?
Yep.
You go to a party and you're there with your friends and you're chit-chatting, you're playing dominoes, you're rolling the old dice, you're standing around, maybe you're doing some push-ups, like whatever kids do these days, right? And
What kind of lame party is that?
Wild party. Okay. Yeah.
inevitably,
Yeah.
you get hungry.
Okay.
Now, what do you do when you're hungry, right? You can order in pizza. You might go and you might get into a bag of chips.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah. Chips.
there's 2 Prairie Boys here. There's a little bit of Ukrainian love and culture between the Saskatchewan connection, the Edmonton connection. 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
You know what you really want when you're hungry?
Bruns.
You need, oh my God, how did you know? You need pierogies, but not any
It's perfect
pierogi.
product market fit.
Not any pierogi.
Okay.
What's the beautiful thing about being together? You want to share. You want to share. You want to break bread. You want to break pierogi.
I'm ready.
Okay. You're there with your buddies. You need a Bro-Rogie. You need a pierogi. You need a 10-pound mass. Glorious pierogi. Yeah, okay, so you might want to plan though ahead a bit, right? Your guests are arriving at 5, 6. You're gonna be hungry. You're gonna be hungry. You're gonna be hungry around 9.
Yeah.
You gotta get the oven going. You gotta stick your pierogi in there. Maybe 4:30 or so. Give her a good 4 hours or so.
4 hours on a low bake, yeah.
Oh yeah, low bake. Like you just basically an oven simmer, whatever the hell that means, right?
Flavor options, just straight potato and cheese, or are we onion? What are we doing?
Oh, you gotta have kraut. But if you want to do some krauting on top,
Yeah.
you go for it.
Not everybody.
Obviously, you're gonna have to have a gallon of sour cream. Or if you're of the healthier as I am, you get some Greek yogurt. You get a bunch of salt and pepper, some Bon Appetit from back in the day. Your parents had it in the kitchen. I know they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get your pierogi. That's it. Yeah.
But we're basically, so the pitch is, it's a 10-pound pierogi for parties. It's the Subway 20-foot long sub.
I think
That's
this is
exactly it.
This is you're disrupting pizza, my friend. This is the
Pizza had a good run.
Pizza had a good run.
Or the
A great run.
But I think I'm sorry, pizza. Move out of the way. The pierogi is here.
That's the pitch.
Hey,
Okay. I actually don't have anything that I dislike about this idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, hey, friends, do you guys want to come over? I actually think, like, it sounds like your party, you had nothing to do at this party because you're playing dominoes and doing push ups. Like, your friends should be there for the Baroque.
Well, that's just getting warm. You know, you got to like break a sweat before you break the pierogi, right? The Bro-Rogie, sorry. Cardinal sin there, forgetting the name of my business while I'm pitching it.
Saskatchewan's just in the Grey Cup, so you're having a Grey Cup party,
Yeah.
right? You're watching the Jets in the first round.
Well, hopefully this year, like in this.
You're getting your heart
third
broken
round,
by
but-
the litters like I do every year.
Yeah.
At least you got the pierogi. No, I got it wrong. Bro-Rogie
Bro-Rogie. Yeah.
to like ease the pain. So it's both a joyful food and a balm.
Well, because I
Soul
think
bomb.
pierogies are like a soul bomb.
Okay, so the only questions I have, I said I wouldn't have any challenger questions, but I do have a couple. Logistical transportation of this mass does seem, because pierogies are by definition a little sensitive. They're malleable. So this thing would have to arrive fully frozen, right?
I mean, I think you could literally leave it in your car for a day, and it probably wouldn't fully thaw. Don't
So
don't put that on the.
when I'm
not,
saying logistics, I do have to plan ahead.
well, until of course the Bro-Rogie brothers shop opens, and we have ovens aplenty.
I was going to ask, is this a frozen food play or is this a Bro-Rogie Brothers on every corner play?
I think it's a frozen food play for now. I think you need to get people like adapted and ready to embrace before it hits prime time on the takeout circuit.
Yeah.
But if you don't think this is rising to the top of Skip or Uber Eats, at least in certain demographic circles, I think you need to check yourself.
I mean, I think you could ghost kitchen it for the first bit. Like maybe that's actually what you do. You ghost kitchen, Bro-Rogie, and you just see if people are ordering Bro-Rogie, which they will.
I don't even think you need to go that far. I think you stand up a website and you'd be like, order your Bro-Rogie.
I mean, I got my cube van, so we can just deliver.
Yeah.
And then once,
Wheelbarrow.
the wheelbarrow last mile, right? We got to talk to last mile delivery.
But I mean, like again, we like to talk about future sponsorships on this program,
Right.
Because we don't yet have any. Chimo, the Chimo people, the pierogi people, right? Like,
Yeah.
we just hit them with what if there's some kind of partnership play?
Well, what if they even just buy this podcast for the idea?
You know what I love though? I love the idea of going to the grocery store and like, you got the little bags of pierogies all stacked up at Superstore or Safeway or any other wherever else you may shop that wants to sponsor Sunterra. And then one of the doors,
Home Depot.
one of the doors is literally just vertical giant pierogies, and there's only 5. I'm also thinking, guys, there's like this. So we have friends who are vegetarians.
Yeah.
And when you have like a Thanksgiving or Christmas and you have vegetarian friends, you're always looking for an anchor, in the same way that the turkey might anchor.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Your giant pierogi.
Yeah, I mean, and stuff with what you will. I mean, we can have Bro-Rogies of the world, right? You could have the bulgogi beef pierogi. You could have the butter chicken Bro-Rogie.
Well,
You
feels like you're pandering now, but yeah, okay, yeah, I love it. Yeah, I mean, pandering is great, just for the record. Yeah, I don't even know if we need to hear more. Do you want to?
Well, what's the price? How much are you pricing this at?
ooh.
Yeah, when you're getting pitched, right, in your regular day job, at what stage did you start asking how much they sell this for? Is your answer right now, hey guys, it's too early? Or should we expect you to have your pricing strategy built already?
I think you just need to show that there's an ample customer base and a market demand.
Yeah.
For something as obviously hitter as this. If you're talking about something where there's an active marketplace already and you have significant competition, then you need to have your pricing structure worked out.
Holy cow, that was the second. We now have had 3.5 minutes of content in 3 hours where people are actually going to learn something.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So what he's saying is, are we saying we need to know the price today? What's the pricing comparison? You said pizza earlier?
Yeah.
Giant turkey? Right? Like, what do we do?
Well, how much is a giant turkey?
How much would you pay? Here's a better question. How much would you pay for this giant pierogi?
I would be like, how much? So it's 10 pounds.
Yeah.
How many people does it feed?
Well, if you think that somebody's going to eat maybe a quarter pound, I mean, you're talking 40 people.
Yeah, you might need a 5-pound option too, to be honest.
10 pounds is so solid.
Yeah.
And that's so many potatoes.
Like a pizza's how much? Maybe you've got like a pound, pound or two.
$25 minimum.
Yeah.
Right, for an
yeah.
large, extra large pizza.
Yeah.
I think you could charge $100 minimum.
$100?
I think $100 a pierogi.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking though. Oh yeah, you can easily blow through a few $100 to feed people with pizza on a party.
Yeah.
Why? Because somebody has to get in there. They have to make it. Right? There's a lot of time that goes into that.
I think this is like what I love most about this. If I could serious it up for a second.
No, that's not okay.
There's a clear opportunity here. Like there's an existing, people are going to be like, there's lots of competition for the giant foods at a party. But that's why this is such a good idea.
Yes.
Everybody has a party. Well, most people have a party.
Everybody parties.
Everybody parties, right? You don't need to worry about competition. This is what I always used to tell my team is like, I'm not sweating the competition if the idea is big enough, right?
Yeah.
I only sweat the competition when the idea is small. Like at Zazen, we talk about this all the time. Like everybody pays people. Ergo, what do I care about competition? What I'm saying is I feel the same way about this pierogi idea. Everybody's a customer, a prospective customer, and I love it. Why don't we? Well, because he's got another idea to pitch us that I want to hear.
Yeah,
you got to score this one.
Yeah, I also just think going into my scoring, this really is not only, it's almost a luxury item, and so I think it is $100 because, again, it's like the focal point of the party.
Yeah.
Is I want, oh, do you want to come over for pizza? Like, no, like. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know how that came through the mic. That was me making fun.
Yeah. So, do you want to come over? We're having a Bro-Rogie party. Can I eat a Bro-Rogie with my bros, broing down? No, that's what I want to do.
So I would say, I know again, we joke about these ideas not being serious. This is a legitimate idea. Like Dan's like, oh no, it's not a real idea. This is a real idea.
You open up a ghost kitchen and start selling Bro-Rogies.
So we've appealed to our listeners sometimes. If there is somebody out there who thinks they've got the capability to make this gigantic pierogi, that's probably what we need some assistance with.
So I think what we could really do, I mean, Audrey Chapman, my dear mother, is coming up for Christmas. She's going to be here on Boxing Day. I think maybe we get, not put Audrey to work, but I think we take
I think you're putting her to work. I think you're maybe unlocking, like maybe this is a dream she always.
We're disseminating culture is really what we're doing.
And really the only test, so we know a giant pierogi can be made, or we think a giant pierogi can be made because it's never been done. We just need to know, would people enjoy it in the way that we think we would enjoy it? And that's easy to test. You can just test this out with the family at Christmas time.
If Uncle Buck can make a giant pancake with a shovel, I think we can make a giant pierogi.
That was a movie, though. Okay, I want to hear idea number 2, and I want to be respectful of Dan's time because I wasn't respectful while he was waiting for us to set up.
This is, to me...
we score out of 75 here.
Oh, of course.
Out of 75 salsas.
Yeah.
This is a 75 salsa idea.
You heard the first episode, so you know exactly why. Yeah. Okay, that's 70.
This is a 75 salsa.
I'm actually inclined to almost go perfect score as well.
Yeah.
Here's why I'm going to hold back. Because Dan said this wasn't even his biggest idea. Right. So if I give him a 75 now, I got nowhere to go for idea number 2. So I with the caveat that I'm reserving the right to go back and revise this score, 71.
A 71.
Which is that's the
highest
score I've given out.
I think this is the highest score of the pot.
Highest score combined. Yeah. Salsa score got a pretty good score too, but this might be it.
Yeah. Okay,
so Dan, now that you're riding this wave of extreme confidence, and as this room gets hotter by the second.
Elation, really.
So I think again, as you know in your world, when founders meet with you and get that validation that this is a good idea, even if you guys don't end up, potentially like involved, they get that feeling after. It's like, hey, I think I got an idea here.
Yeah.
That's how you must feel right now.
Oh, I do. I mean, my dreams, I think I'm quitting my day job, and it's pierogi or bust.
Also love the fact you've identified a co-founder already, right? Because what do we always talk about? Product and team. Product is great. And if I had questions about team here, right, it would be that maybe not knowing Dan at all, I don't know that he can cook a giant pierogi, but he's already solved that problem.
His mom.
Yeah, his mother-in-law, right? Mother-in-law?
Oh, no, my mom.
Her mom.
Yeah,
Her mom.
flesh and blood.
Just your, oh yeah, so she's
Oh, yeah.
in all the way, right?
Yeah.
She would just want to see you succeed.
Oh yeah, she'd pick up and move her whole life here.
Yes. Great.
Okay, Dan, that was your big idea, biggest, gigantic idea. Now we've got a bigger idea.
The Titanic of businesses.
Is it 2 parades stacked on top of each other? No. Okay, I'll stop. Okay, Dan, are you ready to pitch us an idea again?
I am. But there is a teeny tiny preamble aside to this one.
Of course.
I did mention the name of this idea to your co-host, Mr. Burns, Mr. Burns there, and he did notify me that he's already TM'd the name.
Okay.
However,
So I'm here to maybe broker a deal.
This is
in the room.
This is a mediation. We're gonna have
Yes.
to mediate.
Yes.
Arbitration is one of my specialties.
I did hear, though, and I did a little bit of research, that the business never did quite get off the ground for Mr. Burns, unfortunately. Back in 2014. Yeah. All right. So I run this thing called The Bridge. So also this founder of this event that Mr. Burns was, I just want to call you Mr. Burns from now on, was so kind to attend in September, called The Bridge. And at The Bridge, we give away some things. We give away some toques. We give away some vests or some other form of swag. You go to a conference and you walk around and you get a stress ball and you get a pen and you get a pair of socks. You get all these things that hypothetically you need in your life, but you don't want them. You want to go to Costco and buy socks by the dozen. You know what you don't need there? You don't.
I would like to know though.
Let's talk about branding before I get to this. I'm going to hold you guys in suspense just a teeny tiny bit longer. Let's talk about branding.
Incredible pitch already.
You're the company. Now you're not the person getting the swag. You're the company delivering the swag.
Yeah.
What do you want? You don't want, I'll go back to socks. Those socks are going to get worn once every 7, 10, dozen days. How many pairs of socks do you have?
Bad laundry day. Do I wear branded merch?
And you wear socks. Nobody can see them. They're covered by your pants.
Yep.
Terrible idea.
Yep.
Stress balls. People toss them away. Pens are gone. Yep. Even if you use them, they run out. You know what doesn't run out? Ever? A toaster.
I would clap for this, except I don't know how it will sound on the audio. So just Chaz, can take a note. Can we put in some applause sounds after?
Give him the name. Give him the name.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard the name yet.
Oh, it's swagger. This is swag that you need and that the companies need. Why? This isn't any ordinary toaster. Everybody eats toast.
Yeah, it puts the logo on the top.
Darn near every morning. Logos, faces,
Yep.
taglines, slogans.
Wow.
So you put your toast and that toast comes out. Oh my God. Of course I want Bro-Rogies again. Honey, put them on the list. Of course we're going to have a Bro-Rogie party. Oh, of course I need to go and renew my Microsoft subscription. Of course I'm not going to go on Google because I have that connection, that beautiful, tasty connection coming out of the toaster every day.
Can I just tell you something? So my sister, many years ago, 10, 12, 15, gifted me a toaster that put Darth Vader's face on the toast. And I have kept that toaster.
Yeah.
It's still the toaster we use to this day. It's the only toaster my children have ever known. So you said earlier, it's forever swag. It's absolutely. I can confirm that you are correct. I thought the other idea was pretty good.
Yeah.
Can I just talk about widening the aperture? Like, this is giveaway swag, but what if this just became a product, period? Audrey's coming into town for the holidays.
Yeah.
She's probably very particular about, given her cooking quality, she might already be particular with her appliances, so maybe this isn't the right demographic, but just hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, Mom, on a toast every morning.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Programmable, so daily I can.
Toastiments. Toastiments to the ones you love.
If I could get out of this room and walk away.
Okay, we forgot the NDA, right? Everybody that's on this podcast.
Don't worry, we've got a strategy for that. Legally, all the listeners just signed an NDA, right? We're clear now, right?
Yeah.
Patented by Dan.
I think we're also all cut in. If anyone takes these ideas and
Patented.
they create them,
You just have to say patented. You could have Toastiments for your consumer brand, and what was it, Swagger?
Swagger.
How do you work toast into that name somehow?
well, toaster, right? Swagger.
I think
Toaster by Swagger.
Is this your exact idea? What was your
Well, so this is what I was telling Dan, because he was like, "Yeah, I'll come in and pitch Swagger." I was like, "I don't remember telling you about that idea." He's like, "No, you didn't." So we independently have both.
Yeah, but yours wasn't toaster.
No, so mine was.
So this is a better idea.
Oh, this is a better idea. It's almost very similar though. So I actually built it in 2014 at Hack the North, as part of like a hackathon with my team, and the whole premise was you go to conferences, you don't want to collect the swag, and so basically companies could use Swagger. It was like tokenized swag. So you could walk around and get like tokenized swag, which was like so useless. And this is so much better. But because now like there's not even any digital tokens that are relevant. But I ended up pitching this idea to Sam Altman. Sam Altman was one of the judges.
Sam Altman, for the less involved in the ecosystem folks, a leader of a little company called OpenAI.
Yes,
ChatGPT for all you non-tech people out there.
that's right. Probably the most like well-connected person in Silicon
What was
Valley.
his response?
Well, so I always say I pitched Sam Altman, but the reality was we started pitching, and then he got a phone call and left the room, and then came back at the end, and I said, "Do you want us to pitch again?" And he said, "No, thanks." That's okay.
Well, yeah, but what has he gone on to do?
That's right. What did he know?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
probably, I don't know Sam Altman,
Mhm.
but I get in his quieter moments, he's sitting around and going, I built one of the most influential companies in the history of technology. I was going to say in the history of the world, but yeah, we're not there yet. But in his quieter moments, he's like, that kid was pitching me this swag IG, and I never heard it.
Yeah.
He's always wondered what the details were.
Where would I be?
I'm assuming you have his contact details. You can send him this puck. And he'll be like, oh, wow, he made it.
Yeah,
he made it.
he made it. Yeah.
Yeah, that phone call was probably Bill Gates.
You know what we could do? Instead of a boring email, something that doesn't have any stickiness.
Toaster.
Oh, yeah. Toastimonials.
I feel like
Under
it's
the
not
Christmas tree.
We're operating on almost.
What does it say? What does it say on it? Does it say you missed out when you hit the toaster?
Remember me with your face.
It says better luck next time,
Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam.
With no context.
No context. That's right.
Is this a threat? Did they get the right Sam?
Yeah. We usually have just a myriad of questions to dig into. I think you've already established the product. There's what I like is there's two paths to market, a B2B angle and a B2C angle. So B2C distribution is very straightforward. B2B, you could go directly to the B, you go via the event companies of the world. You have a bunch of different opportunities. I think extensibility, yes, it's toast. I have a waffle maker, right? You could waffle makers, but stamp something,
Yeah.
right?
That would be good too.
Yeah, I mean, the other idea was a really great idea.
This is like the build your dreams of toasters. Like the cars where you can customize everything. Well, how about we just customize the logo that it puts in your
The toast.
I buy a car, get a toaster, and who wants an umbrella or whatever they've branded at the dealership? Buy a house,
Get a toaster.
get a toaster.
Your realtor could deliver a toaster. Your what's all the swag you get in the mail? You get calendars, you get notepads, but imagine all those people were delivering toasters.
Well, now I'm just thinking, like, could you just double down? Like, you know how HelloFresh is obviously weekly deliveries of food, or, we're just thinking for sponsors. HelloFresh, and they're the best.
You know what? I like Wonder Bread. That looks great in a toaster.
But could you like essentially get on a subscription branded food delivery? Like, just every week I'm getting like a Neo Financial, Neo Financial shaped tortilla.
You know, rhymes with toast is boast. Just file that one away.
Too bad.
Yeah.
What do you think of like branded food that just like?
I don't want to, Dan, jump in on your behalf here. You're pitching it. This is a totally different idea. Your idea is not bad,
Right.
but logistically, you've introduced like an incredible amount of complexity. I think it's about the toaster. And I think your best opportunity is maybe you switch kitchen appliance. But I think this is such a good idea. And again, this like Darth Vader toaster is just, it's in my brain. Lucasfilm. You know?
Okay.
Disney.
This is probably a great way to get a cease and desist. Is actually what this is.
No, I'm just talking about
There's a lot of margin in toasters.
Yeah.
we get your toaster made for very little.
Oh, nickels.
And then planned obsolescence or whatever it's called.
But I love the idea that this is a corporate, like, oh, you get your water bottle swag, you get your light up sunglasses you get for your kids and end up in the ocean. There, like, all that swag ends up in the ocean, right? We're in agreement, basically. Like, just eventually it goes in the trash and ends up in the ocean. The toaster doesn't end up in the ocean. There's an ESG angle here. There's a B2B, a B2C. There's just brand loyalty, brand retention. There's also just a comedic angle.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't think next year, once this is launched, Phil is getting a Christmas gift from me, which is my face on toast.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And also, he's going to use that toaster for... Were you rocking a toaster today?
I have no toaster. So when I want to... And it's super frustrating.
So what do you do when you want a toaster? Put it in the oven?
I put it on my cast iron with like too much butter. Yeah, it's obscene, but also I don't really cook that much. So I just want to be clear though. Do you think that Dan's idea or my version of swagger is better?
I want to be very clear because I believe in being clear. Anytime you're working on something with somebody, I think clarity trumps. Like the true, people talk about being nice. I think it's more important to be kind.
Okay. The radical candor.
Sam Albin's not taking a phone call during Dan's pitch.
Okay.
That's how I would.
Should we put it to the test? Should we call him right now?
Let's call him up.
ChatGPT, call Sam Albin. I'm just flabbergasted.
Yeah.
You've already nailed it with the Bro-Rogie as a centerpiece.
There is a world where these collide. You need a baking sheet, a big baking sheet for your Bro-Rogie.
Yeah.
Now, the baking sheet could certainly be stamped with your logo or your I love you, mom. And because you got to turn the Bro-Rogie once with your big ass Bro-Rogie shovel in its cycle, and you got to flip it.
Yeah.
And you're going to have on either side your wonderful message.
But hold on. Oh, yeah. What about a new appliance that we introduce into the home? And it's the Bro-Rogie toaster. It's specifically for...
It's 600 pounds.
Wait, no, but hold on a sec. Okay, as much as I already...
you have to move your dryer out of your house because it requires 240 volts.
Okay, but let's say that's an obvious problem. But from the people who brought you the... What was the name of the toaster?
Swagger.
When the people brought you Toastiments...
Toastiments.
And Bro-Rogie becomes the pierogi stamper maker.
Yeah.
So it's just regular sized pierogies, but logoed at home.
Okay.
I don't love it as much as either of the two other ideas. You know what? I'm taking it back. I'd walk it back. I don't want it.
People are lazy, right? Let's just be honest. There's a reason why we want to move from the model where somebody has to bake the Bro-Rogie in their house to where it arrives hot and ready.
We are going to have to eventually get to the point where we've got the volume such that the pierogi arrives ready.
But I kind of love it's like it sits on your countertop It fits perfectly. You slide the pierogi in. It's like a shawarma. It's like a shawarma machine, and it just turns
When you
it.
hire a caterer, I don't know if you've ever hired a caterer. They arrive with all the accoutrements to cook your food
Yeah.
or to heat your food. What if it just arrives and then you take? It's like a rotisserie pierogi maker almost, right? You're just rotating it.
Pig on
and
a
then
spit.
they take that away.
A pierogi on a spit.
It's like a waffle maker. You know those waffle makers?
I don't think physics is doing us any favors on the giant piece of dough going in a circle.
No, you
Flip, flop,
and
splat.
then it locks, and then it's like a
Oh,
it's
so you have a
it's like
cage.
waffle maker.
Oh, wait. If you have a Bro-Rogie cage,
Yeah.
now you found a logo-ready surface as well.
Makers where you pour your mix in the top, and then you can rotate the waffle maker. This is what my inspiration for this is. It also pairs with the barbecue cover.
Just spilled all over myself.
Smoke Bro-Rogie.
Thank God we have videos on.
Yeah, we can't edit.
Oh, I see you lost your sweater.
Yes.
Shocking.
This is a thing in in 2 of the 3 episodes so far.
But last time I was wearing a T-shirt with my own face on it,
Oh, nice.
which is a good move.
Wait, before we have to score this one.
I put myself in a pickle because
Is it better or worse than the Bro-Rogie idea? Because you're going to give it a high score. I can see that in your eyes already.
yeah, I do think Bro-Rogie is better. Like Bro-Rogie is transformational. It redefines social connectivity.
Category defining.
It's category defining. It redefines existing
Yeah.
and creates new reasons for the human species to collect as a group.
Yeah, it's an automatic wow, nothing like that exists.
You've not only invented a new food group, you've invented a new party, and so it's remarkable. The toaster is just a little bit better. So I think
You think toaster is a little bit better?
no, sorry, toaster is just you're incrementally improving your day in the morning.
Yeah.
And
So you're going to give it less than 75.
yeah, so I think Swagger or Toastiments
Toastiments.
It's a
is-
better name.
Yeah,
is,
Toastiments is a
to me coming in at 70 salsas.
Yeah, 70 Celsius out of 75. Okay, so I actually think that what I love about the Bro-Rogie is because I'm a go-to-market fella, and I love the simplicity, right? Because like all we have to do is come up like the great product is defined. Yes, there's gonna be different flavors, but like it's very clear to the consumer what this is.
Yeah.
Right? And all we got to do is get it to the market, which I feel like this podcast is doing already. For that reason, and for that reason only, I would score it slightly higher than Toastiments. But I want to be clear, had you just come in and pitched Toastiments, I would have been floored. The fact that this is your second best idea of this pitch is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give Toastiments, what did I give?
71.
71. So I'm going to, just for my kids, I'm going to give it a 67. Because that will cause them to listen. They'll be like, Dad said 67.
7.
So I think it's an unbelievable idea.
You really,
I do think Bro-Rogie, like, I say this without a trace of like comedic value. I actually think Bro-Rogie needs to be pursued. That is the first time, without question, I've said this on this program.
Right.
Well, the barbecue cover, I was sort of like, should we do this? We should pitch. Well, Dan will hear that episode. He's already heard it.
You already heard it at this point. When this
I
episode
think,
comes
like,
out.
I'm not kidding about this. Giant pierogi, 5 pound, 10 pound, like maybe a couple sizes. That's an anchor for the holidays. That's an anchor for sporting parties. That's an anchor for just like general get-togethers. And it is what this podcast is starting. We're focused a little bit on our own ecosystem, and you correctly pointed out at the beginning. If you are from Western Canada, with the possible exception of the West Coast, as this might shock you guys, my family immigrated here. Pierogies, we still eat them all the time. Like they are an institution in this market.
I just want to be super clear. I think that your performance today rivals, if not is better than Michael Jordan's flu game. This was you shot the game of your life, and we can't thank you enough for coming out.
It's not like that because he hit it twice.
Yeah, right. It's like the entire.
He went back to back. Right? And heretofore, this might be the standard that nobody's come in and pitched to today.
Well,
You're the first.
that's amazing. I mean, it really means a lot coming from such an established program with, millions of active listeners.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. Well, I think that all I can say to you, Dan, is I would be a customer of Bro-Rogie, and I would be a customer of Toastiments, and I would like to be a customer of Bro-Rogie sooner than later.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need any more validation than that.
As soon as
The market is spoken.
Boxing Day, when your mom is here, that's when I want to try my first
what
program.
Taylor and I are saying is like maybe we could get an invite to for Christmas, like just like a sample.
Well, we should thank you so much for coming, Dan. This was incredible.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. It's
Appreciate
been a blast.
patience with our setup. Appreciate the fact that this is the first time we've met, and I think everything that you've talked about is incredible. And also, first two-time pitcher.
First two-time pitcher.
2 times, back to back.
Cool.
Thanks, Dan, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
Peace.
All right, Phil, what do you think of Dan's ideas? Start with the giant pierogi.
I love the giant pierogi.
Yeah.
I can't wait to bring it to every party that I'm at.
I do want to make sure of one thing, because pierogies are extremely popular where we live in the prairies, from Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. Chaz, you were out in a different part of the country. Do you think the giant pierogi idea that Dan pitched us, which is like, we're talking like 10, 20-pound pierogi as a centerpiece to the party, do you think that also translates in Southern Ontario?
Well, for me personally, I eat pierogies like once a week. Whenever I go and visit my dad, that's always the side that we have. But
Yep.
I do sometimes kind of get like weird looks when I mention that I'm going to my father's to eat pierogies. So
Right.
I don't know. Do what you will with that
So
information.
we're going to have to see if distribution is consistent out in the rest of the country.
Shaz, what do you think people would say if it was like you're going on a road trip to eat the biggest pierogi in the world?
I personally would find that extremely tempting. I'm not sure though.
Can I ask a follow-up to Chaz? If you do go on a road trip to eat the giant pierogi in the world, can I ask you two guys to go together and then record like audio from the whole trip, and then we just release it as a whole episode?
So, Shub, since recording this podcast, I sent this screenshot to you and Dan. And again, sorry to mess with the time because
No.
the
We're okay
timing-
now. People now understand the intros and outros aren't always at the same time as the main guest.
as the main guest. So yeah, we're recording this like a week and a half after.
Well, you don't have to
Dan
tell
came in.
them exactly. Like,
Okay, well, and since that time, I was reading the bio of this woman who owns a bakery and hosts like these dinners and stuff. And so it talks about how she's also written and directed a few short films. Currently, I'm quoting now. Currently, she's working on a feature-length film called "Road Trip to the Biggest Pierogi in the World." Isn't that amazing?
Can we
We
get her on
need
the
to
pod?
watch this movie, or we need to star in this movie.
Can we get her on the pod? I think Dan probably needs to be in that movie. Maybe if Augur VC could invest, could just pivot a little, and instead of AI and energy infrastructure, they could just pivot to helping produce this film.
Helping film
You
projects
did
on the biggest pierogies.
you did say, as we were talking to Dan, maybe Chimo will just buy this entire podcast for this idea. Can we get to this person who's filming this film? Can we get them on the podcast?
Yeah, probably.
I
you
think
want me
as
to
an
reach out to her?
incredible, I think would be unbelievable, right? If we had an episode about a giant pierogi, and then we had someone come on about a documentary film wherein they went to go see a giant pierogi, we could get Dan back on as a guest for that episode. I think it would be unbelievable.
Okay, I'm going to reach out to her right now.
This is great. This is great. In real time.
While we record, and maybe by episode 12, we'll have her on.
Yeah, or episode 5, depending on how the timeline works. Okay, so Dan had another idea, which was personalized swagger. I think might have reorganized the idea specifically around the toaster concept, and just being able to get a toaster for your friends that had your own face that would get put on the toast every day. I actually think that's a legitimate idea. And I think we should potentially run with it and find, just the standard toaster, and then you just upload a photo of your friend's face or your own face, and then
Yeah.
everybody for the holidays gets either Phil's face on their toast, the Tech Thursday logo on their toast, our new Your Business is on the Line logo on the toast.
Yeah.
I love that idea so much.
Yeah. I'm just drafting a message to this director.
Oh, you're actually doing it right now. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you are choosing to. I can't even be mad that you're distracted because you're trying to further. You're basically creating content on the fly here.
This is a LinkedIn cold DM. Hey, I'm not going to say her name, but hey,
Yeah.
her name. I saw you're working on a movie about the world's biggest pierogi. I love that idea. Funny enough, my friend and I run a podcast where we pitch business ideas, and one of the ideas was the bi- a big pierogi.
The Bro-Rogie.
Pierogi.
The Bro-Rogie. Yeah.
Yeah, the Bro-Rogie, a big pierogi. Not sure what the tie-in is,
But there
but
has to be.
I'd love to chat more and get to know you. Is that weird?
I think this is great content where we can listen to you audioize a message that you're sending to someone on LinkedIn in real time. I think people are just like, wow, it's like Inception, right? You're
Yeah.
messaging and then reading the message to
Are you
a
being
bunch of people.
sarcastic, or did you actually like that?
I don't love it. No, I think,
Okay.
but I do think maybe a segment where Phil reads emails he wrote this week would really track, right? Would be really great.
Yeah, I do read a lot of emails. Okay, well that is sent. So I think it will be cool if then we actually do get her on the podcast.
Well, she's gonna go listen to the podcast though, but the episode 3 is not out. It's not hit the streets yet.
Oh,
So
it's gonna be so Inception because she's gonna listen to the podcast
yeah,
when it comes out, and this is gonna be on that podcast, and she's gonna go,
yeah,
"What the hell?"
yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. But I'm very excited about it. I don't have too much else to talk about today with respect to all of Dan's ideas. I love, just to reiterate, giant pierogi. I think it needs to be in place by the Super Bowl. Dan and his mom need to get that going.
Yeah,
The customizable toaster. People right now, right? We're coming into the holiday season. They're just struggling with, what do you get somebody who has everything? A toaster that puts your face on their toast?
boom,
I think
boom.
that's a winner. And we need to find somebody who can do that for us. Please.
Yeah, please. And then version 1 is again it prints "Your business is on the line" on every piece of toast.
Yeah, of course. Your business is on the toast. That's what it could say.
Oh, yes, yes, dude, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
there it is. Okay, thanks everybody for joining us for episode 3 of Your Business is on the Toast. It doesn't. Your business is on the line, and we're toast.